Have you ever had that one thing? The thing that keeps you up at night? The thing that you can't get out of your head? The thing you think about when everything else is quiet? You try to live normally, but it pulls you back. You can't run from it. You can't ignore it. It's not a goal. It's not a hobby. It's obsession. That's what the climber's about. A boy who doesn't want fame, doesn't want attention. Just the mountain and nothing else. He lives for it. Mori Buntarou doesn't just love climbing. He lives for it. He's obsessed with it. Mori didn't start this series as a climber. He was wandering, aimlessly, drifting. He wasn't talented. He wasn't gifted. He was just a quiet person who didn't stand out. That's the thing about obsession. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are. It finds you and grabs onto you. From that moment, Mori grabbed onto the wall for the first time. It was when everything changed. There was no over-the-top, eye-opening moment. It was just quiet. All that mattered in that moment was the next hold. And it was at that point, climbing wasn't an option anymore. It was something he needed to do. That's how obsession begins. Not by writing down ideas or a motivational quote, but with a moment. A moment in which nothing else in the world matters, and you are only focused on one thing. You don't go after it because it's logical. You go after it because you can't imagine yourself not chasing it. And for Mori, it was the mountain. I believe everyone has that something, but for you it might be different. But ultimately, the feeling is the same. Once you find your mountain, you either go for it and climb that mountain, or you live with the regret of not trying. Once obsession takes hold of you, there's nothing you can do to let go of it. It pulls you deeper and deeper. For Mori, climbing wasn't something he just did. It was something he needed to do. It became his identity. Everything else stopped mattering. Socializing, school, anything that wasn't to do with mountains was just excess noise. He didn't do it with malicious intent. He wasn't trying to be cold. But when you are obsessed with something, everything else just seems to fade away. This is what no one tells you about chasing your dreams. It's going to be lonely. Not because it's a choice you make, but because not everyone is going to see the things you see. Mori began to isolate himself from his friends, family, life. So all that's left is the mountain. Because, in his eyes, nothing can ever come close to the feeling of climbing. In real life, the same thing happens. When you are serious with something, you start to pull away from things that don't align with it. Not out of hate, but because of clarity. And it's that clarity that isolates you. To them, he was throwing his life away, giving up his future, turning his back on what everyone calls normal. Friends drifted, teachers lectured him, even the closest people couldn't understand. That's the reality of chasing something this hard. People will judge you. Some will laugh. Some will distance themselves. Some will even try to pull you away from your dream. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. Because this dream wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Mori never explained himself. He was used to being misunderstood. Obsession isn't up for debate. In real life, this is what stops most people. Not the work, but the weight of outside eyes and the pressure from those who don't understand. If you want to go all the way, you have to be okay with that. Even for someone like Mori, obsession gets lonely. And for some time, Mori lets the world back in. He begins to meet friends, mentors, partners, people who understand different parts of him. He starts to open up, talk more, laugh. For the first time, it almost seemed possible to climb and have a life out of it. But obsession has ways of bringing you back to where you belong. Even in those moments of connection, you get reeled back to those thoughts of the mountain. During conversation, during laughter, he's planning his next climb. You can feel this in real life too. There might be some times where you think you have found a balance, times where you might think you can hold your dream in one hand and the world in the other. But really, you know which one you'll close your fist around when the time comes. Mori knew it too, and eventually, he let go of the connection and returned to where it all began. In the end, Mori goes back to where he started, alone. Not because he didn't accomplish his goal, not because he couldn't handle the warmth of connection, but because he knew what he needed to chase. The mountain was always there, waiting for him. Every step he took was leading him back to it. This is the full circle, his return back to zero. He started alone, found his people, then had to choose solitude again. Except this time, the solitude wasn't empty. It was earned. It's his. There's a point where you have to pick between comfort and calling, choosing between staying with what feels safe or going all in on what you were born to do. Mori didn't turn away from people, he turned towards his purpose, and for him, that meant returning to where he began, just him and the mountain. Obsession isn't free, it takes from you, piece by piece. Mori gave up everything for climbing. Friendship faded away, comfort disappeared, any sense of normal life was gone, and still, nothing stopped him. Because when you are chasing something that means so much to you, the loss is arbitrary. The cost of stopping weighs a lot more. This is the truth that no one talks about. You can work hard and be talented, but if you want to go the whole way, you will have to give up parts of yourself in order to get there. The late nights, the missed opportunities, the relationships that don't survive the climb. Mori knew the price, and he paid it, every day, because he knew the reward was a life that was his completely. In the end, it's just you and the thing you couldn't let go of. That's what the climber shows you. You don't chase a dream to be understood. You don't do it to be seen or accepted by others. You do it because you can't live any other way. And if you've ever felt that, if there's something you think about when everything else is quiet, then you already know what I'm talking about. And the real question is whether you will climb it, even if it means you are alone at the top.